said
What
nothing.
you gonna do about it? Nothing. Everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I mean, we're coming from Miami, so we're back in SA. Wow. Anyway, today you guys have been asking me a lot of questions about my skin. I know that you said, yeah, you were like this. What happened? How did you get your blah, 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 blah. The woman that made that whole situation happen, she's here to answer all your questions. I hope I remember all of these questions. Give it up for Mrs. Okay, no. Doctor.
Yes. Hi, Yolanda.
Hi, Dr. Temi.
Temi.
Dr. Temi.
So pretend like there's an H after the T.
Oh,
so it's
Temi.
But without the H.
I've been butchering it online. Oh my gosh.
Listen, as long as you got it.
And it's not only her. I also have my brother, my friend, my bestie, my one and only bestie, whatever.
Don't
bestie.
say the other name. Remember.
Okay, I'm not gonna butcher your name.
We spoke about
this. So his name is Brighton.
Yes! I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Last time I said
You got it right.
I did. And it was like that. I'm like, okay, no, wait, okay. Let's do it again. But yeah, no, thank you so much. Thank you also for coming. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, we have people that,
This is awesome.
Not just
I'm
anyone,
It must be
a whole Brighton. So
Brighton.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Yes, doctor, tell us. So people have been asking me. I'm gonna start.
No, start.
Go for it.
So people have been asking me. So this is the funny part I wanted to tell you. So when you gave me the whole prescription and all of those lotions and everything that I was using, my skin started coming back. Honestly, because a lot of people noticed because I had like the whole color was like I lost it this side. I'm sure you remember.
I remember.
I'm actually gonna put a picture there so that you guys see before and after her situation. So I realized that my skin is going back and I'm like, hey, boo, happy this skin is my money.
It's a money maker, girl.
I stopped taking the medication.
As 90% of my patients do when they get better, then it's like, hey, I'm looking good. Let me stop. Bye, Dr. Temi. I will see you next year.
Finish.
I didn't even say anything.
Meanwhile,
Not even an email. I was like,
up.
Dr. Temi, thank you, but
You're
we are
good now.
stopping here. Now I'm fine. I like this color way it is.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's
Yeah.
fascinating. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So, did you measure the kind of difference? Like daily? Did you take a picture
No,
daily?
that's the
sort of-
thing.
Oh.
So you know what happened when I went to her? I wanted the spreading of the to stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't really like maybe I didn't really even explain myself enough
I got
to you.
I hear my patients even if they don't talk.
But then in my head, I'm like, okay, I didn't think it was gonna go back. I always told people
That
my
this
whole
is
life
it.
that there's no cure.
There's no cure.
Nothing happens.
You can't stop it.
You can't stop it.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. So I didn't click in my head.
Yeah.
I woke up and I'm like,
What's going on?
now I have what happened? Where is my color? My color is back. And I didn't. I did not. I should have every
should've.
day.
Yeah.
It would have been a nice.
Just like a
It would've been
collage.
Yeah.
Like before, during.
But I do
during.
have the
progress,
before-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I do
before you
have.
started the treatment.
Yes,
Okay.
I do have the
Okay.
before I started the treatment.
And
It's-
how long ago was this when you started? Sorry.
This was like a year. Was it a year ago?
Yeah, a year ago. But the medication took a month to work.
Yes, it takes.
Remember,
time.
it took literally a month because I took the medication, like the pills. I started the pills on I remember stopping drinking.
I remember we had that conversation. We don't mix and match with
Yes,
medication
and I was
sometimes
like, no more alcohol.
So is that the
sobriety.
no alcohol?
So generally, I always encourage my patients, whatever the condition is, whether it's acne or vitiligo, please be of sober habits because medication will always interfere with the process
That
of
process.
skin healing. So, yes.
Yeah, and I stopped.
I don't
Good
know.
girl.
I think
I
I'm
did.
good. I'm good.
Glad.
No, what? No, I'm kidding. I mean,
I actually remember getting invitation to Bravo B's party. One of the Big Brother housemates.
Yeah,
Did you have water?
Exactly. In my head, I'm like, oh my God. And you know when it's a Big Brother housemates party, alcohol is free, food is free, everything is just free. Like you everything you want is there.
And you're like, sparkling water, please.
You know, and like, there I am drinking sparkling water.
My girl.
Oh, I was not happy. But then when I realized that my skin was coming back, I went back to my alcohol that day.
Yeah.
I jumped on it. I was like, yay. Medication, stop. I want my skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please tell us what happened. Like, how is that procedure? Like, what did you do?
Okay, so basically, let's just talk. What magic did I do? So
What concoction? Yeah.
Yeah, we want to know.
So basically, just to explain it nicely. So vitiligo basically is a autoimmune condition. So in layman's terms, basically it means there's this fighting of the cell. The cells in the skin get too strong, and then they attack each other. When they attack each other, then they die off.
Okay, the skin and the cells.
Yes, the melanocytes. So the melanocytes are the chemicals in the skin that give the skin color, the pigment, the brownness.
Melanin.
So yours were too strong, as in vitiligo, fighting each other. When they fight each other, they die off, leaving pale skin.
Oh.
So there are so many treatment modalities, but the first thing that I always tell patients is that there is no permanent cure for vitiligo. Like many other skin conditions. We can treat it, we can manage it very successfully, but it's something that you're going to have this relationship where you come in now and then just to make sure that it is stable, because vitiligo can be very unstable, meaning that it can spread. You can decide, I'm not going to use my topical medication or my oral medication, and then it starts to spread. So basically with your treatment, we wanted it to be suppressed quickly because it was spreading quickly. So it was a combination of oral medication, some oral steroids. You didn't like that. I know you didn't like that one. I know you didn't like that one. And also we also have.
So I had steroids in my system.
Yes, but it's not those kind of steroids. It's medical steroids, but it does have side effects, you know.
Okay, yeah.
And then we do blood tests to make sure that there aren't any other autoimmune conditions, because it can be linked with other autoimmune conditions. Because if you treat it in isolation, you're not addressing all those other factors, then you're also defeating the purpose, because you could be missing something like an iron deficiency anemia or lupus, and you're not treating that when you're focusing purely on the skin. So that's why we do all those blood tests, and
you did,
and we did all those blood tests, and
like
you were not happy. But I'm glad we did, because it also helps to manage the condition nicely, and so also treat it with other colleagues, because sometimes we need also other physicians to also manage the condition, the vitiligo.
Oh, okay. But what causes it? Like, is there like a specific thing? Because I remember this other doctor telling me that if you have a period in your life where you were stressed too much or whatever, it can cause things like vitiligo or other chronic conditions or whatever the case is. But what's like the main cause of it? What happens?
I was gonna to add, because I'm a fan of Manchester United, and they've been stressing me a lot. Do you think that's a like a cause?
You know, stress in different people reacts very differently. Right. Somebody can be exposed to this amount of stress and nothing happens to them. Yeah. Somebody else can be exposed to that same amount and they get everything. Yeah. And unfortunately, autoimmune conditions are one of those kind of things that kind of occur. But we see it mostly in people of color, in females, and there's lots of reasons why it occurs. There's the genetic component. Not to say that there's somebody in your family that's got vitiligo, because you might not find that.
There's no one at my family, or in my family.
So English. I always tell people, don't panic. Please have your kids. Doesn't mean that your kids are going to have vitiligo, but it's very important just to have that at the back of your mind. But we actually don't know what causes it and why certain people have it. But it's a lot of things: genetic factors, epigenetic factors, stress. Lots of things. But it's just very important to be able to manage it when you immediately.
And then food.
No, please eat everything. So a lot of people always think that is it a food that's causing it? No, please.
Because I thought it was fish. When mine started, I stopped eating fish. I'm not lying. 10 fish.
10 fish has had.
know.
Fish has had such a bad rap.
Yeah.
So there's a
Yeah.
particular skin condition that, tin stuff.
Tin stuff,
So,
yes.
So it's actually called pityriasis vesicular. It's an actual condition. It has nothing to do with vitiligo. It's purely a superficial fungal infection, which we treat and it clears in 2 weeks. So a lot of people be like, no, this is tin stuff. No, tin stuff, shame, tin stuff.
Is it from the
innocent.
metal?
No, it has nothing to do with tin stuff. I don't know what the association is with tin stuff and pityriasis. Maybe it sounds similar. So they're like pityriasis, tin, No, it has nothing.
Okay. So it's not really.
All right.
It's
no link.
It's not food
There's
related.
no correlation. Okay.
And then Brighton is a guy.
Yeah.
And
I
he
am.
also has.
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
I'm curious where you're going with this.
What happened? Were you stressed?
My mom passed away a long time ago, and I seem to remember that she had patches, but maybe it's my mind playing games with me because I'm trying to, I don't know, find where it started, what it stems from. But I don't think that was the case at all because my brother doesn't have it at all. My son doesn't have it at all. You know what I mean? So, and my dad, my biological dad, doesn't. Well, he's white. He might be full vitiligo. I don't know. Speaking of, so obviously,
you see vitiligo also in Caucasian skin.
Exactly,
So it's not
exactly.
a
So-
condition that's only for skin of color. We see it also in Caucasian skin and in Indian
Yeah.
skin as well.
No, I have seen it though. It's just that it
doesn't appear
It doesn't appear, like
as
us,
prominent.
because I'm dark and it's white, and they are already.
there's a
white.
contrast, yeah. You see it in the hair. Like there's a guy with that I know. His beard, the one side, it looks very cool. The one side is like white. And the
I
other
was
side is
about to
brown.
ask that
That's
question.
actually a syndrome. So vitiligo, there's syndromes associated with vitiligo. So very important. I'm going to get it a little bit medical. So you will see some people who've got vitiligo only on one part of their face. So it'll be just on this part. The hair will be white on this part. Even the eye also will be a bit depigmented. That is actually a syndrome, and you have to look for other things associated with that syndrome, especially hearing loss and visual problems.
Wow.
Because it's void. There's a lot of I like syndromes. So those are my key things that I look out for, because that kind of vitiligo usually is associated with a syndrome, and that
it's
can be
not
also
really.
genetic as well.
Because I remember some lady said to me, if my vitiligo or vitiligo,
However you want to say it, tomatoes. Tomatoes.
No, Brighton said it's vitiligo, and I'm like,
Vitiligo.
vitiligo.
Listen,
vitiligo.
Rosé, Mrs. Rosé, just because.
No, I said data
Now
there,
you're
and I was like,
like,
he's like, data, and I'm like, data.
It's data.
So it's vitiligo.
Limpopo, it's data.
Vitiligo.
Vitiligo.
It
I say
depends.
vitiligo.
It depends which continent you are, because the Americans will like vitiligo,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like,
But both of you, like a whole
Vitiligo.
medical doctor, say so, meaning I must practice vitiligo also.
What's with the twang? Why the twang?
we're in
Vitiligo.
South Africa.
Vitiligo. Okay, so that
doesn't
lady was
matter.
like, if it comes to my my this part, I'm probably gonna struggle with my vision also. So I was like,
Not necessarily. It's that one where you have the vitiligo on
one
side.
side. Okay.
And then you've got the hair
The hair.
on one side, and then the eye on the one side. And those kind of, people will have this history of like a meningitis or severe headache. All of a sudden they become deaf, they can't see. That's a syndromic type. That's like a medical emergency. That will get Dr. Temi up at 2 a.m,
Yeah.
making a plan for that patient. But generally, this generalized vitiligo, it's usually just the hair and the skin.
Yeah.
You're not in trouble of anything. You're okay. You're beautiful. You're fine.
Is it?
Thank you.
Is it? I mean, this is a bit of a dark question. Is it a cancer?
It's not.
It's not a cancer.
It's not. However, remember in the areas of vitiligo, the melanocytes are not there. So those things are things that protect our skin from sun damage.
Right.
So very important in everywhere, actually, all sun exposed areas. You must be using your sunscreen all the time, because that area is susceptible to skin cancer, because that melanin is not melanated enough. So sunscreen all the time, just to protect those cells from becoming.
So we are more at risk.
At risk.
I mean,
yes.
obviously, same with people with albinism and stuff. And,
Yes,
you know,
if you're not using your sunscreen.
Yeah.
However, if you are, then we're all the same.
right.
It's just about sunscreen usage. That's
Yo,
it.
sometimes I forget sunscreen. Eh?
That's
I
an
am not
abomination.
lying to you.
It's because it's thick and
yeah,
it's
and
like,
it's oily,
yeah.
and it's you.
We need a whole segment on sunscreen because I
We
preach
really
sunscreen
do.
every day.
I know.
It's
She gave me like a whole lot of them when I was there.
Hey,
They're still there
they're still-
somewhere.
They're still there.
Yeah, she's like, you know how many times she said I must apply sunscreen
Yeah.
every day?
2 to 3 hours.
For every
Frequently.
every 4 hours.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Literally should
You know
be
how
like-
expensive sunscreen.
Come to your dermatologist's office. We'll sort you out, baby.
Oh, she does actually. A whole bag. You know,
Nice.
so you have it for the whole 3-4 months ish. You know, yeah. She did that with me.
And there's a general misconception about amongst African people
Yeah.
that you don't need
Sunscreen,
like,
you know,
because melanin
already-
is already right, and it's a
Daily
misconception.
thing. It's a misconception. It's a daily conversation I have with my patients, especially the gentlemen. They'll be like, "How, doc? Those are women's things, we are brown." And I'm like, it's
Wow.
not just about protecting from the sun. It's also anti-aging. That's
Yeah.
your biggest tool for
Yeah.
anti-aging because the sun's rays will age us like prunes.
Yeah.
So it's not just about skin cancer. The normal skin, that's a SPF 15. That's not enough.
Oh.
It's not enough. So we need to be reapplying SPF 50 consistently. Whether you're from north up there in Africa and or you're from here, sunscreen everyone. All shades of brown.
Even if there's no
Right.
sun that day.
For so long as it's day hours, even if it's a rainy day, cloudy day,
Sunscreen still.
every day until the sun sets on that day.
Like, I honestly forget. The only time I remember sunscreen, if I'm going to swim
If you're at
or
the beach,
if I'm,
Yeah.
that's what I remember. I need to use sunscreen.
I need to be in your DMs reminding you, I'm like, did you wear your sunscreen today? Did you wear your sunscreen today? So I do that to my patients. I'm like, I see you looking great there. Did you wear your sunscreen today?
yeah,
Yeah, Shem, sunscreen.
Oh, especially at the beach, sunscreen with the sand. Now it's like thick, oily
And
lotion.
Now the sand
and
is
sand,
on. Yeah.
and like
Now you're carrying the
making
whole sand.
excuses.
But there's
Yeah.
like different types. There's like the light texture. There's the heavier ones. There's one for sensitive skin.
There's
a
water. Just
help us with
on.
that.
There's so many different types. Literally, you go to any pharmacy and you tell them you want one to spray on.
Yeah.
Because the gents like that one. So like a spray on sunscreen. It's not ideal, but I'd rather you use that than to use nothing. Like all the ladies who wear makeup, they're like, but doc, like we're wearing makeup, how are we gonna reapply? There's also brush on sunscreens for that. There's spray on sunscreen.
Yes.
Rather that than nothing because sunscreen is life.
I think the spray one would work.
It sounds
works.
better.
Yeah,
works.
because you know.
Then you can just
Yeah.
Applying of
The applying one is a whole lot of work.
it can be a lot.
And you have to, now it's
And
gray.
now
You
you-
have to make sure, because
No, the spray is good. I mean, even in the car, I have sunscreen. I'll be like, just make sure they're not
But which
burning.
brand do you like? I know.
Oh, I'll never
yeah.
talk brands over here. They're all good. For so long as it says it's broad spectrum, it's SPF 30, 50 and above, I'm fine with it. Whether it's the one that costs $50 or the one that costs 5,000.
Brands, do you see? Had you came here, now we will be selling you.
We would be saying.
I'm sure they're listening. I'm sure they are listening. I'm sure they're listening because sun care is like literally our bread and butter as dermatologists. Like I always say to my patients, there's no point us doing all these expensive procedures. I'm injecting X, Y, and Z, and you're not using your sunscreen. Let's get your skincare on pat. Get your sunscreen usage proper. Then we can do all the fancy stuff. Otherwise, you're working with a canvas that is not
Yeah.
proper. Hey,
And you only have one skin.
you only have one skin.
Well,
It's
unless
your
you
biggest
ask, in which case you have two.
Yeah, like, us.
You know what I mean?
Unless you're blessed and you have two, like us. But you have one skin.
Basically. Hey, so it's always the biggest investment.
Yeah.
Always.
Look after your skin.
Absolutely.
But do you think the sun, because, okay, so when growing up, I played like a boy. My dad was a mechanic. So I was like
Outdoor.
a boy, and I was where I'm from. It's hot, Palabora.
It's hot.
Yo,
I've got patience. It's
yo,
hot. 40
Palabra,
degrees.
yo. Like, it's crazy. And I grew up in that situation, and I was always outdoor, obviously without a sunscreen. Didn't even know what that is, at the time.
Most of us.
Can that may have been
a trigger? No.
okay?
Otherwise, think of it this way. There's other parts of Africa where it's even hotter. But the incidence of vitiligo is more or less the same.
Yeah, you're right.
Actually, the continent that has the most vitiligo is actually the Asian country. So it's actually quite common in the Asian community.
Okay.
And they've got varying temperatures. So it's not an intense heat situation. It just happened to be many things at play that just caused vitiligo to
A war of the skin.
exactly
On the skin, yeah.
on the skin.
So this is the question that I usually get all the time. People have maybe someone have like a dot or something,
Yes.
like a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yo, I don't know if it's vitiligo. What are the symptoms? What are the signs for a person to see that, okay, you know what? I think I'm getting it, or maybe I think I have it. This is like, because with me, I got a dot and
It's
you know,
spread. That's exactly
yes.
it.
So what can they look out for? And when they see that, what must they do?
Okay, so there are those kind of hypopigmented conditions
Okay.
that look like vitiligo. And I see it all the time. And patients will come and be like, you're a dog, vitiligo. it really does take a trained eye to see that this is
not.
a form of eczema, because there are forms of eczema that look like vitiligo. And that is a lot more common than vitiligo. So a white spot that is starting to spread quite quickly. And it doesn't have to be uniformly white, because there's different kinds of vitiligo. There's trichrome, where there's different shades of pink and white. There's quadrichrome, where there's 4 types of shade of pink and white. So, vitiligo is like an entire textbook. But I always say, if it's concerning you, even in the least bit, always have it checked out. At least just to have that reassurance that you're okay. This is vitiligo, or it's another kind of hereditary condition that causes pigmentation or hypopigmentation, but always get it checked out, because it's easy to treat things when it's still very early.
Yeah.
And just to also have that peace of mind, because also the continuous stress and anxiety is never good for the skin as well.
The stress and anxiety of what is happening. And
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Because personally, I don't know about you, I wanted to hide it when it started. I didn't want to ask anyone or tell anyone. I didn't want to research. I was scared of what I might find out.
Absolutely.
Because I did genuinely think it was like a cancer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I was scared, and it took me a while to go to a dermatologist. And then he was like some old guy
But they're
with
the
a
best.
magnifying glass on my arm.
Yes, we still use the
and I was like,
dermatoscope.
this makes no sense. It just felt dodgy.
No,
and then he
no,
was
no,
like,
it-
aquas cream as a prescription, and I was like, nah, surely it's more than that. But I mean, he was a professional.
Okay. So in his defense, because I will always defend my
Your
colleagues.
colleagues, yeah.
It might have started off quite small,
Yeah.
and not typically that white patch.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just a brown area.
Yeah.
And he might have thought, okay, maybe this is eczema, and
So
use it
hence
for
needed
eczema.
to, okay.
But I think the more developed kind of vitiligos are very easy to spot.
Yeah.
I mean, in as much as I've been in practice as a doctor for 15, 16 years, even I need to sometimes biopsy or even look with my dermatoscope to make sure that this is not
Yeah.
eczema, it's vitiligo, because it's not always so apparent.
Yeah.
So
there isn't one thing that says
That
this is
it.
vitiligo.
Oh,
These are
okay.
the signs. These are what it looks
no,
like. Yeah.
except if it's very obvious.
Yeah.
In the cases where it's not so obvious, then we biopsy. Then we have to take a piece of skin. They look under the microscope
Yeah.
to see, okay, there's melanin, there's no melanin.
Yeah.
This is vitiligo, this is eczema, this is other. So sometimes we have to do that. Oftentimes it's a clinical diagnosis. We can see it, treat it, we do the necessary blood tests, make sure everything else is okay.
Yeah. The immune
I was
system.
scared to go to a dermatologist because I was like, I don't have that kind of money to go to a dermatologist at the time. And I'm like, I know dermatology is still a problem. And they give me a paper and they say,
Yeah.
go and do whatever. Because I was like, yo. And then after that, I go and I buy and nothing happens. But with you, it was different. Shame. I'm not selling her, guys.
No,
Like
sell.
it was
Sell,
really.
sell.
It was different because you know what? she made me took off all my clothes.
You're going to take off all your
Oh.
clothes in my office.
Hey now.
I need to see everything.
Hey now. Is this not
Hey,
PG?
not bits and
Literally
pieces.
like check me properly, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this dermatologist is different. Like the one they told me, I've never been to one before, but people were like, no, they'll just look at you and then write a prescription and then bam, that's it. But then she did check me and then she gave me like prescription that I couldn't read. Even the guys at the store, like where I was buying.
Notoriously, I've got
They
the worst
didn't.
handwriting. I've got the worst
This
handwriting.
cliche doctor thing.
No,
like,
but my
cliche.
writing is really bad.
Is it
I-
really
That
bad?
guy was like, what is that? And I'm like, read
no,
again.
It's really bad. But I try.
No.
15
No,
years
it's
bad
bad.
At all.
Bird.
Even a T or A, you don't know if it's Y or U. I don't know what she said there though.
Hey, but then yeah, once they see my name, I think they can kind of suss out what I'm
Yeah.
writing. So it's,
I think that guy had to call you.
yeah, he calls. I'm like,
He did.
I'm like, number 1 is this. Number 2 is this one. 3, 4, number 11.
Yeah.
They gave you all those things.
I remember.
And they worked.
And
Hey?
they do.
But if someone, let's say, for example, they have like maybe it's starting, because mine when it started, even same situation with me as well. Mine started 2013, actually, at like right at the back. Yeah. And I was a very prayer warrior at the time. You know, going to church all the time,
Yeah, it's
fasting
good
and
to go to-
praying.
yeah, it's good.
I was.
Yes.
But then I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. And the dot grew and grew and grew.
Prayer
all the
works
time.
with medicine. You know, you don't separate the two. You know?
You're actually right. Because I was just praying and I was like,
you know,
oh God, please.
didn't say just pray. He said
Yeah.
to seek the help of the people
It
that
grew.
you know what I mean.
It became like a map of South Africa.
Nice.
No, but I was hiding it also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually applied makeup from 2013 until 2019.
Yeah.
When it's hot like this outside, I would wear bottleneck or maybe use a scarf.
And that
Yeah.
makes me sad because, like, I want people to be comfortable in their skin. You know what I mean?
Yo, it
like
took
when
years
I hear
for me
that
to be
people
comfortable.
have to cover up, I'm like, no.
Yo, it took
we're
years.
here to help.
It
It's to
literally
help.
took years. And I was so glad that it was moving very slow.
Yeah.
It was only at the back. And then 2019, when I decided to now, like, you know what, let me, because I saw people flourishing like Winnie Harlow.
Yes.
And I was like, I can also be a model. I actually,
Of course.
the desire of modeling came from that whole.
Can I tell you a quick story? So we did a post on Vitiligo a couple of years ago. So my team was going to use Winnie Harlow's photos. No, actually, I was going to, because I only kind of knew her. They were like, no. We've got a beautiful South African. You probably know him. Discuss off air.
I know him.
So it's like, there's a beautiful girl that we can use for this post. She's gonna be okay with it. I'm like, are you sure?
That is Mark. Max
That's
Makado.
my guy. That's my guy. So
We-
it's like,
No,
yes.
you know,
So his
we
name handles my
actually, me and that guy, we actually from the same place back at home in
Then
Venda.
I thought it was my
Same place. And we used to go to the same church. And
Look
I
at
worked with him.
that.
2012, 2013, I used to
Hey.
work with him.
Oh,
I was like his
wow.
assistant. Yeah.
So he was like, no. I know someone. I'm like, put her. I'm like, she's so beautiful.
Oh my
And
God.
that's actually the first time when I saw it. That was like a good 4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think it was on my
20.
page. It's still on my page somewhere.
Really?
The bottom part.
I remember
should be
seeing
like-
it and I was like, okay.
Hey, so that's you, girl.
And it was before I knew her. Oh my God.
I'm like,
Wow.
I'm like, can we use the people that we know locally? I love.
And then
everyone.
boom, I was there and I was consulting and
Hey, look at
and
that.
my Yolifiers, thank you. They went and DM'd her.
Nice.
And they were like, oh, you need to help this lady. You need to help our sister. Whatever. And then she DM'd
awesome.
me. Imagine.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, okay, yes, I'm gonna come. And it took forever for me to go. Like
Yeah.
I was not that like I was. They kept asking, did you send the email? Did you send the email? Did you send the email?
Your people love
Yeah,
you.
they
I need
really
to just-
do.
I need to say
They
that.
really
I need
do.
to just say that.
That's really
You've
cool.
got such a strong fan base because they kept checking up. They're like, "No, you're gonna make me teary." They're like, "Doc, please help us see, our favorite Yolanda. Please, is everything okay? Please, can you just?" I'm like,
They were
Don't worry.
texting me also every day, and I was like, "Oh, I
it
did
was
send the
the
email."
most beautiful
And I
thing.
didn't.
I'm like, you know what? We'll sort it out.
I actually didn't know that I can. In my head, I was like, okay, dermatologist. Ooh, guys, I don't know. Like, I've never been there. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And she made me do the needles as well, where
Yeah.
they take my blood, and
Yes,
she
girl.
didn't like that part. And I think I had the same situation with you. I didn't want to really find out what
Sometimes
exactly is
what's
it.
going on.
Especially when he said I must go do the blood test. I was
Yeah,
like, yo,
I know.
that situation is here.
But I'm here to hold your hand. Literally, I do that for my patients because it's not easy getting, firstly, a diagnosis. Then you've got to do blood tests. I mean, I'm also human. I also don't like going to the doctor's office and then it's like, hey, ma'am, please do X, Y, and Z. So I understand. So if the blood results are X, Y, and Z, I'm also like, okay, let's roll with it. Let's see how else we can make it better.
Yeah, I was shame. Thank you guys, Yolifiers. You are the best.
You are the best. It must be nice to have fans that care.
They love her. They love her.
That is such illustration.
And him also.
Nice to have fans that care.
You died and we were in mourning.
You know, we cried.
Thank you. Oh,
I
guys.
still use that name even today.
Yes, you do.
Meaning I care.
Yes, you do.
Hey, it was sad. It was a sad moment.
It was sad.
Oh man.
Anyway.
But
Maybe must resurrect.
He's resurrected.
Someone said to me the other day, someone was like, I was like, guys,
anything is
he died.
possible,
He died. They were like, no, you can be your ghost.
You know, you can
Straight
go
face.
back
You know,
as
you can be a ghost.
or something. No,
They're like,
It's
you know,
Africa
Days of Our
after all,
Lives, you know,
anything can
Boulder.
happen.
I'm like, yeah. I know,
Malena.
I know, yeah.
but I think
She died many times.
it would actually be amazing, eh? Imagine someone wake up and then there you are and
It's
they
been
see
too
you.
long.
you know.
No, it's been too
And
long.
I know, but it would be a beautiful comeback.
Yeah.
We would all go and watch. I'm like, what happened?
You know? With Malena and them, like, oh, she's back again. Second time.
Yeah.
Like, no one dies on TV for real.
No one
Come
dies.
on.
But it's TV.
We need
get
to toy
connected.
No one unalives. Apparently,
wanna-
you can't say.
We want a ghost.
Oh, that is the word.
We need to say we need a
Yeah.
ghost back or
The ghost
something.
of
Do
Brighton.
something. But
Yeah.
yeah. No, but actually, yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. Your fans are really cool. They really are.
They're
like I've seen.
amazing.
And you know, I don't know how they. So this is me. When I was growing up, people didn't really get my character. Like
You're
mothers,
amazing.
they didn't really like. If I go and I'm going to see a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they're still working, or whatever, the mom will be like, "Oh, she's not here," because I was the naughtiest girl, boy, child. Like something literally would break in your house if I'm there. Someone will get hurt. Something would happen.
That's kids.
No, like some mothers didn't really like no.
No,
And
I
people always,
understand
you know,
those.
oh, she's here. It's
It's
either you
not
are loud or
everything.
you are naughty or you are. So people always. So I didn't think when I went to Big Brother, I actually had like started my modeling because I started modeling 2019, and then thank goodness 2022 I got a big deal with BMW. Did I mention you guys? Yes, with BMW. Anyway, and I was on their billboard, and then I was like, you know what? I need because I was working. I was selling insurances, and it was the hardest job ever.
Sales is very hard.
It was crazy. And I wanted to go pursue modeling and do it full time, but I was like, I can't just wake up and go in. I mean, there are bills that I need to pay. Like, you can't just if you're not Naomi Campbell, you know, you need to think about because it can be very difficult. You don't always get the job.
Yeah.
You don't always, and you need to pay your bills.
Sustainability.
You know? So I was like, let me do something that will quickly get me out there. Even if I stay in the house for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When I get in that house, I'll just be very quiet. I will try not to annoy anyone.
Aww.
At least I stay for 2. If they don't nominate
But
me
you're
to
not
be,
annoying. I'm just trying to understand, like, what? No, you have such a vibrant personality.
Big,
annoying them
big
every day in
personality.
that house.
Hey,
No, I was annoying them in the house.
no, they couldn't handle the. Big
I don't know if they were annoyed or they just put it as annoying even though it wasn't. You know?
Yeah.
Like it I don't know, but apparently I was annoying and I was loud.
But look at you now.
And all of those things happened.
Loud, yes.
Okay,
Annoying,
wow.
annoying
yeah.
no. Yeah.
And what is loud? I mean, if you're loud, you're loud. That's okay.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
But I feel like my loud, if I stay with you in the same house, it can be a problem. No, I need to give it to them. Come on. Because they were sleeping and I would wake up and I would sing.
And also,
I would. Like, I don't think if I was in the house, same house with you, you would like it.
and look, if you're
I
downstairs,
don't think
it's
so.
Fine. It's fine because I got loud people in my house. As long as they
Really?
like you,
Like when
they
I stay, they
know.
always come and knock. Like I would
That's
play
right.
music and sing louder than the music.
As long as by sleeping time, it's time to sleep.
10 o'clock.
And that's the thing. I
Body
don't sleep
comfort.
early.
Hey, so you got lots of energy.
That's my problem.
Okay.
I sleep after 12. At that time, you have to go to work in the morning.
And you're still
In the
awake
Big Brother house, they had to wake up 6 a.m.
for those tasks and all those things.
the exercising situation,
you
and
doing
you
the
cannot
stuff?
not go.
But were you able to do all of that stuff?
Yeah, I was.
So you got lots of energy.
I do. That's the thing.
Hey.
I don't know where it comes from, but it's there.
So they can't blame you for that. I'm
Right?
not gonna go all doctor on you, but they can't blame you for that
No.
because there are some people who
Yeah.
got an excessive amount of energy.
I do. I think I don't know if it's a condition. Is it a condition?
Sometimes.
I think it is. Because even when I was in school, same situation. Some teachers didn't really like.
I understand that.
Yo,
They couldn't handle
I
you.
was like that child in the class.
yeah.
There's nothing I'm not doing.
You know,
Literally.
a little bit of hyperactivity.
Very hyper and
I
very
see a lot
talkative
of it.
and very loud. And I don't know. What condition is it?
No, we wouldn't go into all of that because who says it's a condition?
Exactly.
But who says it's a condition?
It's your
Some people
personality.
are just have a very big personality.
Yeah.
So it's not always a disease. Not everything must be pathologized.
Yeah.
Not everything is a condition
Yeah.
that needs this medication and this thing. Not everyone has to fit in that box of okay, I must be quiet and demure. Some people are just like I'm just like
Demure,
like,
you
I'm
mean.
just demure. Others are just demure and Jay bye. You know, that's just their thing. But others are just very and that's life.
Yeah,
you know, you need a mix of that.
So I thought personally that in the house, they're not going to like me, the housemates, because I know my character. I already know what's going to happen. So I was like, let me go to Big Brother, get noticed quickly by the people in the industry.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a
good
big
way to-
platform.
Yeah, it's a big
yes.
platform.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah.
I went in there.
Because chaos.
I was shocked. Every day, every Sunday, you're like, Yolanda, you are saved. I'm like, huh?
You
Yeah.
see.
Who's voting for me?
Your
You know?
peoples, the
Yeah.
people.
And they grew from literally nothing. Like my people, like I had literally probably 2-3 people, and then I had 6, and then I had 10,
Look at that.
and then I had 20.
Look
Yeah.
at
And then,
that.
but they literally from scratch. I
You
love
see,
you
your people
guys.
will always
Yeah.
come for you. They will always
Yeah.
come through for you. Rather.
Yeah.
They'll always come through for you.
Nah, they did.
And it's your personality that got you to where you are today. You know what
Okay.
I mean? No?
No, apart
know
from
what I
your
mean?
beautiful looks, I mean, you really have a very endearing personality, you know?
But would you say people like me are sad?
Oh.
So that's a very tricky
That
one
went
because people
dark.
just from where did that
I'm
come from,
not
by the way?
lying.
That is like
Are you
shit.
okay? Do you need an Oprah hug?
Hey,
Let's-
she went
let's
from
Oprah
here
hug.
to here.
No, I do need an Oprah hand. No, but you know why? Because I watched movies a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry to divert from the skin topic, but I've realized that people that are like outside,
They mask a lot.
they mask a lot. They have a lot of
Pent
And-
up angst.
people wake up and that person is gone. They took their life and no one knows
Yeah.
and understand.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yolanda, why? Okay, I'm not saying I'm
I
doing that.
rebuke
No,
it.
that's not happening.
I
I'm
would
just
rebuke
it's an
it in Jesus'
example.
name.
We're watching you. We're keeping an eye on you now. Yeah.
But I'm just saying that. Would you say if you see someone like that, you think that, you know what, I need to maybe
I personally tend to watch out for that kind of friend. You know, the one that's always
Happy.
going out there for everyone, always bubbly, always, you know, extra. Because I see people, and sometimes I just see them when they're very quiet, and you can just see that almost kind of vacancy in their eye, like,
Yeah.
no, I need to spend a little bit more time with this friend, you know, because you're the people that
Yeah.
always giving and you're always extending yourself to other people. Who's pouring back into you? You know, how many people are checking up on you because they think, Yolanda's strong, she's happy, all right, you know, everything is pashash. Who's checking up on the strong people and the happy people and the successful people? Because we see it all the time in showbiz. How many successful people have taken their lives? And everyone's like, but they had money. Who says?
Yeah. Not
And I
true.
just think to
that's
myself, I'm like,
true.
money, like really. So yeah.
You hike it. Okay, everybody. I don't know what happened, but ta-da! Ta-da!
Hello.
No, she's not late. She's not.
Never.
She's exactly on time.
Divine
Actually,
timing.
she just arrived and there she is.
Yeah.
Hello.
Welcome.
Everyone.
Thank you
Hi.
for having me. Oh my
How's it?
gosh. I can't sit with you. Biotumelo, doctor.
Hi,
So her name is Biotumelo Spotted.
Okay. Why?
Online.
You sound familiar.
She is very familiar. I'm very sure you know her.
Yes.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yes.
Famous.
Oh, the drama.
Wait. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet
You
you.
got the cutest smile. Like the
Oh, thank you.
She created them. They're not
Oh,
there.
yeah, they weren't there, but
it doesn't matter.
Oksala.
Oksala.
What do you?
you.
what
I'm
was your
kidding.
name?
She did it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, guys.
Oksala, that's a good surgeon.
Sorry, dimples now.
Recreating them. So this is the doctor I told you about.
Okay.
And
Nice to
there,
meet
the
you.
skin is gone-ish somewhere.
You're
Remember?
looking gorgeous.
She's gonna come back again.
And she
to
was like,
lecture
I have
for follow-up.
questions for the doctor.
Talk to
Yeah.
me.
Oh, it's lovely to see this progress
Yeah.
in a very short space of time as well.
Very short.
How long was it?
I think it was a month.
A
So as I-
month.
yeah, as I was taking the medication, it was like started. I
Pigmenting
saw
again.
like dots and stuff like that.
Mm.
And the last, because the reason why I stopped taking them is because it closed.
She was happy.
Mm.
And I was like,
She was happy with the vision.
now I was like, oh no, my skin is going. No, we can't.
The money
I
maker.
can't be black.
The money
I
maker.
can't be, I
Yeah.
can't be black all the way. No.
No, really.
It's like that now. I'm stopping. So yeah.
Okay, so what were the main reasons for doing it? It was just for the spots that just appeared on the cheeks.
So my lovely people, Yolifiers, they actually DM'd her because I
Yeah.
kept saying that I've never been to a dermatologist because they were very expensive for me, you know.
At that
And
time.
at that time,
You're boiling,
and then
girl.
now I can afford
No,
them.
yeah.
Thank
Boiling.
you.
Hey, Maybach music.
Rich forever.
Rich forever. You're sitting with big guys
Maybach.
here for that
Oh
time.
my God! You did not just say, woo,
Hey,
doctor.
we are your fans, girl.
Doctor.
Fry us. Toss, NJ. We are your fans,
Tell
girl.
us, you were saying
Yes.
you were doing it for.
Yeah, so they actually DM'd her to say that, because I said I've never went to any dermatologist. I've never really like asked anything about it, try and treat it or whatever the case is. So when I went there, and it was spreading fast at the time, and it was becoming a very sensitive even, because when I wear lashes, like it would be pink after. I couldn't like put lashes again. Like I had to wait like 2-3 days. So it was becoming
3 days.
Yeah, like I had to wait.
I was
Like my
2-3
skin
months.
No, 3 days. I would imagine. I'm not by your lashes. Anyway, so it was becoming that. So in my head, I was like, you know what, let me just go and see. Maybe there's something to it. Because you didn't have that problem, I think. Like you never said you feel anything on your
I'm very
skin.
sensitive.
Oh, you are?
I'm very sensitive.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I asked you how you do your hair like that, because I can't.
Oh.
Remember, because my skin, I can't. Like the bleaching process,
Yeah.
It
I
burns
wish
you.
I could, but it burns too quickly.
And, not, and
wow.
not everyone can tolerate that, because also with vitiligo, there's also a component of sensitive skin. So you can have vitiligo and have normal skin. You can do it whatever you want with your hair and skin, and then you can have vitiligo and have an underlying skin sensitivity or a scalp sensitivity. You can't do all those things. So no, each person is not the same. Each person is not.
Oh, so the reason why I went, it was because of that. And I didn't want to wake up and they say I'm all white on my face. You know?
Oh, okay.
I liked it I love it when it's like a drawing of some sort.
Beautiful.
You know, like I wouldn't want to have, woo. Now I'm queer.
So does that mean you're going to be
Brighton.
on and off? Now I'm Brighton. Now I'm bright.
Nothing wrong with being Brighton.
Nothing at all.
Brighton, you know?
And some people opt for that, because if it's everywhere, they'll actually come and say, "Doc, just make me
Yeah.
white."
Like Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
But doesn't it become too sensitive?
The lack of
absolutely,
melanin for me is
absolutely,
just
because then you have to
sensitive.
be like out of the sun completely.
Because I remember there was a story about Michael Jackson where he couldn't be, even
The
if it's
sun-
normal
yeah,
light. Like
absolutely,
normal.
because now the melanin is really depleted. So there are those cases where it's so severe, where the white area completely overshadows the area of brown. It'll be like white everywhere, and then be just brown here. So sometimes it just makes sense just to lighten that area, and then the person is just the one
How are
color.
you looking? I was hoping you're going to come shirtless.
Hey now, buy me a drink first.
Why are we covering?
So mine looks like liver spots. So my brown is like That's the only thing that's weird about it. Is like it's like a liver spot.
I got you.
You know, the sort of my hand area type of thing, and liver spots are like associated with old age.
I don't like that word liver spots.
And well, it's an old term, yeah,
It's an old term.
and it's a very Caucasian thing. So because I'm half Caucasian and I'm the age that I am, I'm feeling like
How
an
old are you
old
again?
man. I'm 40.
What?
Hey, but you're looking good.
You
Your
know.
sunscreen. Well, hi, man. It's just sunscreen.
Listen.
I don't use sunscreen. I shouldn't tell you that, but
Yeah, that
Use
is not
sunscreen.
good.
He looks like a
Yeah,
vampire. You know vampires?
Hey, not aging.
You know?
Hey.
thanks.
I can't believe you don't use sunscreen.
It
You don't
is.
use anything at all.
I do if I know I'm going to be in the sun for like extended periods of time. But generally speaking, and
Daily.
we were discussing this
It's
earlier.
important.
The other day before you arrived,
The day, not the other day.
about no, it's a behavioral thing that we need to change about being
Getting used
more
to using sunscreen.
being
And
I'm
I
saying
think I
it's
always
like-
find that the earlier that we do it, the better. Like I do a lot of sun skincare campaigns, and I catch them young. Like I'll go to like primary schools. I'll go to like the netball team for under 8, and I'll do like a whole skincare and protecting your skin.
You must
from the
invite me
sun.
when you're doing that.
I will. I will.
us.
So like I
Yeah.
was so excited, and I gave them like the sunscreens, and they were like, "Doc, must I put it like this? Must I put it like?" And like it just warmed my heart because if you're preventing it at that age, by the time they're in their 20s and 30s, they're going to be having great skin
It's
without
just
a
like
lot
the
of
cost
We
of-
actually taking her to
of
Limpopo.
sunscreen.
The cost of sunscreen is next level.
One thing I always say is that you don't
Big
have
factor.
to you don't have to use that one that is 1,000. That one that is 100 that is locally produced. It's also an SPF 50. It doesn't matter. A lot of people focus on brands. Listen, a sunscreen is a sunscreen. As long as you're reapplying it, it's SPF 50, it's broad spectrum. We're good.
Is there a home remedy sunscreen?
No, please, let's
There's
not-
no
I
like
don't think so.
homemade,
That's a
I
valid
don't
question.
homemade like
But I don't think
So
there
that-
is.
margarine or something. Don't use margarine.
Marjorie.
There's no home remedy. However, like growing up in the Eastern Cape, you'll see a lot of people with the
White.
ochre, with the calamine and the ochre powder. So
Yes,
ochre,
yes,
that reddish
yes.
clay
Yeah.
was
Basically
actually
serves
meant
that
to
purpose. That's
protect
true.
the skin from the sun. But obviously, that's not a high SPF. That's like a SPF 10, 15.
Yeah.
But that was actually a natural remedy, and they still do that. So you'll go to Eastern Cape, Pais Lalini, you'll see people covered in the red clay. That's the way of using sunscreen. So,
Yeah.
nature's been doing its thing for some time.
Yeah.
No, we must go to the villages. We
Yeah.
go to Limpopo.
Have you done any treatment?
No.
Reason?
I guess I've accepted more, and I'm not looking to well, not that you can reverse, but to stop it. I want to see how far it's gonna. Because Madiba died for this dream, for me to turn fully white and take the land, take the land back.
You did not just say that.
No,
It's all about being
I'm
rich
just like it's. I'm so used to it now. And you?
I've done phototherapy
Okay. How did that
and it went well. It was just like a struggle in the
go?
sense
Because you
that
have to go every 3 times a week.
yes,
then
and it
it's-
was like 200 rand a session, and it just seemed like a ridiculous price to pay to also try reverse something that is just going to
Not
keep
curable.
happening. Yes, so and the pain as well. It really wasn't
burns.
worth it. It was literally just me getting sunburnt
It
every
can.
other day and just hoping that everything just works out faster. So for me, the progress just kind of came off as my own self-realization and
Yeah.
just really being true to my own identity and accepting it and
Yeah.
being a part of it, because it was like, do I choose whether I want to participate in this because of I want to control how people see me, because I'm not looking at myself all the time. It's really for the perception of everyone else.
And it shouldn't be. for
It
anyone
shouldn't be.
else.
And I really had to choose myself.
Absolutely.
And I chose myself over, and I just felt like, you know what? It's really about how I feel about myself more than me worrying about what people are thinking when they're looking at me. And that's how I came to just
I love
done.
that. I
saying,
love
putting
that.
the flags. So, which is why I was asking how you also came to stopping so soon.
Yeah.
You
She
know?
got excited.
It's
No.
very soon, because honestly speaking, like I love looking the way I do, but I also don't want it to spread so much because the sun is insane. It really is not a good feeling being in the sun and getting sunburned that way. when I go hiking, I need to be like extra cautious. Like I'll have my hat on, but sunscreen under the hat, and
the
just looking
glasses
for
and
every second, looking for that
shade.
shade, but still living comfortably at the same time, because I'm not gonna stop myself from enjoying life. I
Because you
want
have to live.
fully
Life is
enjoy
for
it,
the
because
living.
that's how I felt. Like the moment I found out, it was just like, so this is it for me, and I'm just gonna be like hiding the whole time and under the shade and just not living normal like everybody else. So for me, I'm just pushing the narrative of just like self-preservation.
That's it.
And just having that sunscreen, and even when you do get sunburned, not making a thing out of it and taking it emotionally deep. Use aloe or just, treat it and come out of it and still be good.
Absolutely. Because I do find, I mean, I see a lot of vitiligo, and I always tell patients, like, what is your end outcome? What's your end goal? Because in my mind, I might be thinking, okay, maybe the patient wants completely brown skin again. Meanwhile, they just need to be reassured that, you know what, it's not going to spread to my ears. I'm not going to go deaf from this condition. And I think once those conversations are had within a consultation, just that peace of mind that the person has is almost therapeutic on its own. And then you can try this topical medication. A lot of my patients don't opt for phototherapy because there's costs involved. It's you coming out of work 3 times a week for this procedure. And they always ask, is there a guarantee? And I always say, you know what, in medicine, there's no guarantee for anything. Even Panado is not guaranteed
To work on you.
Can I say
Yeah.
that? You know what I mean? So there's no guarantee in anything. And it's sad because you want some kind of reassurance that we're going to go through all of this and I'm going to be 100%. So I'm always very upfront and say, you know what, we're going to do the best we can do. But even at that, it might come back. Or it might not go at all.
That's a soft landing, because I remember mine wasn't. After the phototherapy, I opted for a hospital treatment, so at least it's not going to cost me, but the visitations are less. And I went through this process of just waiting, and obviously there's just all sorts of people there.
Yeah.
And at some point they took preference over people that had arrived even later than me. But this was
it a private or a public hospital?
Public. It was public. So it was just like, okay, I'm trying to cut the costs and just find another way of doing it. And then they took other people as priority because they were just like, well, are you itching? Are you in pain? Are you, that's how it was laid to me. It was just like, are you feeling like this? Well, the other people that are here really need this urgent help right now. And I'm like, my consciousness needs this right now. My whole existence. And I could walk out of here and just go do something crazy. You don't even know, but they don't know it either. So I'm just thinking, like, it's really important to have that conversation in itself. Like, what is it that you think you'd want at the end of the day?
A self-image thing.
It's a self-image thing.
And also when we train as doctors, as dermatologists, it's always a holistic thing. I mean, I worked in the public sector for a good 10 years of my career. So I know that feeling, seeing that last person in the queue, and you can see tears in their eyes, but in your mind, you're like, I can't, it's difficult. You're one person, maybe you're seeing like 90, 100 patients a day in a tertiary hospital. And, then again, not to defend any kind of thing, but you'll see that person with a gigantic skin cancer that needs to go to theater now. And then sometimes you kind of eyeball that person who looks kind of okay, but you're seeing okay here, but we don't know how here is going, So I think over time, obviously with years of experience, you learn a lot of empathy. And it's not just about the skin. It's so deep. And, every single day I go home and I'm like, it's an emotional thing. Just seeing my patients on their journey. Like there was a lady yesterday who was like, I'm dating for the first time, in years. Look at my skin. And for me, it's stuff like that. It's not just about, okay, your skin is clear. It's like now you're just feeling yourself, and it's priceless. But our public hospitals, they're great. It's just it's overburdened. There are 250 qualified dermatologists in South Africa.
Really?
We are only 250. In the public sector, it's a lot less because 80% of dermatologists are in the private sector. Not because they don't want to be in the public sector. We don't have work there. You know what I mean? So it's hard.
Yeah.
So the same anxiety and stress that we see our patients go through. Trust me, we have those meetings all the time. Like, how can we make the patient experience better? But there's only so much we can do.
True.
But the majority of us do the best we can, under the constraints.
And in the time and space that I've obviously been in this industry of skin,
The skin game.
in the skincare
skincare
industry, but specifically with doctors, I've seen a lot of recommendation to rather take treatment and rather do it. And I felt to me that it was more so a money-making scheme as opposed to actually diving deeper into understanding the person, like as you're talking about it right now, to have the conversation, even just attending conferences and just talking about vitiligo.
And there
it's
are
just like,
actually, I'll share those.
there's
with
so
you.
much, the
There's a
skin
lot.
grafting, and
Yes.
it's just like, oh my God, this is a lot. And
There's
are
a
they,
lot.
I was trying to understand if doctors are not realizing how much trauma this is
We know.
putting and like, implicating in our lives.
Yeah.
And it's just about like, just either you do the skin grafting or you put makeup on it. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to put makeup on it every day, I just...
Exactly.
Does the skin grafting work? I was going to actually ask you that.
I mean, it's something that's very popular in countries where vitiligo is very common, like in Asia.
Yeah.
The success is relatively good because I think the more you do certain procedures, the better the success rate.
What's skin grafting?
Okay, so basically it's skin harvesting. So you
Skin harvesting.
it sounds terrible. It's your own skin. It's your own skin,
It
my lady.
is.
So basically, just to make it very simple.
It's as crazy as it sounds. Yeah.
Hey, it sounds, just to put it very simply, basically you take a small piece, you do a biopsy, you take a small piece of skin from melanated area and you transfer it to the area of vitiligo, hoping that it forms pigment in that area.
Oh,
It encourages
the
the
skin
cell.
cells
So
there, yeah.
there's a
Cell growth
lot of
and,
criteria in order for you to qualify for something like that. It has to be stable vitiligo, etc., etc. But just to give you guys some assurance, there's actually a Vitiligo Society of South Africa, which I belong to. Most derms belong to that society because the treatment of vitiligo changes all the time. Not that there's a cure, but there's new medications, there's new therapies. I mean, every single time you see me overseas, it's not because I'm having fun. It's literally to make sure that I am abreast of what is happening with each condition, whether it's acne or whether it's vitiligo. So we're on top of it. We're on top of it, basically. Yeah.
Would you say you have an understanding of it? Because I feel like
Oh, yes.
people have all these ideas of what cures you should create. But I feel like it has a lot to do with your mental state of being or your immune system as well. Like, as you're saying, it's different. Like, even how it appears on everyone,
absolutely.
it's so different. So I feel like there should be more research being done in terms
There's
of
a lot.
just it. Also, it being not reversible as well is
Yeah.
a thing. Because it's like, why are we also creating all these cures? Whereas it's something that your immune system has decided that your melanin cells
Yep.
are
Are
not
going to
supposed to
fight
be
each
here.
other.
What is the reason? So that also in itself was one of the reasons that I just chose to just be with myself actually and just trust my immune system. If I should trust my immune system when I'm pregnant and I should trust it when, I should just like the flu will kick itself out, then why am I not trusting my immune system now that my skin and pigment is turning out this way?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just to answer that question, so as derms, we see 3,000 diseases. The top 3 conditions, things like acne, eczema, I'm sure all of us have had that at some point in time. There's no cure for that. In as much as every single week or month we're attending conferences for acne and eczema, you can treat it. Your skin will be great. Will it come back again? It's very possible. I mean, I'm acne prone. I'm a dermatologist. I will also get a pimple. That's skin. That's skin for you. So we are always researching. I mean, there are entire hospitals that are dedicated purely for skin or purely for vitiligo. And that is their job, to look for cures and treatments and remedies to make these conditions go. But
And to better understand.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I totally hear you. But I 100% believe they need to somehow merge with just like self-healing.
It is
and
very important.
It's
It
very
goes hand in
important
hand.
because
Absolutely.
almost
It goes
every
hand in
illness
hand.
is associated with stress.
Absolutely.
This in itself, like if
stressful.
you do your research, it's always
Yeah.
like when it spreads, it's usually when something big has happened in your life. Like
Absolutely.
if you're shocked about something or you're in an accident or someone died. My grandmother passed away during the time when it started spreading more.
Yeah.
So if it really is stress related, then it obviously has to do with my mind, how I think, how I react, and how it chemically
Your stress
reacts.
response,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like somehow if those two industries just merge,
No, we are one industry. We're all
Somehow.
medical doctors. So
Yeah.
we work with psychiatrists. And I was mentioning to them earlier, we all have very different stress responses. There's some people they'll be exposed to the same amount of stress you have. Nothing. Their body just fights it off. It's like nothing happened. Somebody else will develop something else. They will develop hearing loss. They will go blind. They will have vitiligo. They will have something autoimmune. So
Yeah.
each person is so different. And with my patients, almost all of them, we co-manage with psychology, with psychiatry, because we can fix this to some extent, but I want this inside to be okay. Because I can see you looking great out there, but how are you doing here? How are you doing here? That's what's very, very important to me as well. But I think we're becoming more sensitized to the emotions of people. I mean, doctors, unfortunately, we do have a little bit of a reputation for being very clinical. And I think we're starting to become more empathetic to people. Me personally, because I've seen loss. I've seen death, and you cannot see that kind of stuff in your own family and be a normal person again.
And be unaffected. Yeah.
You can't. So I think we're getting better at that. Very
I think
important.
also in addition to all of that is dispelling of myths and superstitions and cultural
yes.
things
Oh,
around like I mean the it being contagious thing is like ridiculous. Like I've been accused over the years. I was accused of like
spreading it.
I've got a spot on my arm.
Yes,
And I'm
I've
like,
also
no,
heard.
that's just this ashy skin. You just okay, maybe that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like whatever type of thing. So, and I think what we would the schools thing I was telling Dr. Temi earlier, the schools thing, I think that's a big factor for me is dispelling the myths and the superstitions and the stigma around vitiligo. Like it's ancestral things, it's ancestral fire. I was told about.
Yeah.
You need to do the right thing by your ancestors. I'm like, I don't even know my ancestors. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, they are there in the UK.
type of thing. Yeah, exactly. In Switzerland, there somewhere.
You know?
So I think so
very
in addition to the research, the VSSA, I did try and reach out a few years ago. I have a bone to pick. No response.
It's a bone.
Maybe now that I'm saying it. on
We have
this
someone in the
platform,
inside.
because I would really love to be like an ambassador for them
Yeah.
to help to make them part of our things, campaigns and all that sort of thing. You know what I mean?
So, now that you're mentioning it,
Yeah.
something I'm going to actually bring up at our next Germ Society meeting.
Cool.
People actually want to be involved.
Yeah.
Because as doctors, we have these discussions amongst ourselves, but I'm realizing that patients also want to be involved as part of their treatment
Yeah.
and want to know what's going
because
on.
they need community as well.
Absolutely. Community is important for any condition, just to have that support. So it's something I'll definitely bring
And
up.
especially us with the platforms we have, you know what I mean? I think
Yes.
it's quite
It's
it's a
important.
really cool opportunity to,
I don't know if you've touched on it. Did you guys talk about piebaldism?
What is that?
Oh,
so
no.
English woman.
So you remember we were talking about genetic conditions that, or hereditary conditions where you have vitiligo and there's other things like hearing loss or, there's a lot of, call them genodermatoses that present with vitiligo. So I was mentioning the one where you have like vitiligo on the one side of the face and then you've got
And
the
the hair.
eye and then the
And you're
hearing
born with it as
loss.
well.
Exactly. And
Because
then
they'll ask a lot. Because you weren't born with it. I wasn't born with it. You were not born with
So-
vitiligo.
and then there's
But
even the one where
piebaldism, you
you've
are.
got like the white forelock, like that's very common in.
Most
you know,
piebaldism specifically.
So you find that the mom has got this white like Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
She's got
And-
this white streak of hair,
And
then
the kid
you
also.
find that the kid. So I will usually see them practice. They'll come for eczema, and they'll just see, okay, the mom's got this white forelock, and then the kiddie's got the white hair, and then Gogo comes in, and she's like, okay, and then it's not a disease, it's not a problem, but it's just nice to know that it's not going to harm. It's just going to go into
So the only
hand.
difference between vitiligo and piebaldism is that one is genetic and one isn't.
No, so it's different genetics involved completely. So even with piebaldism, there are different subtypes. I won't get into that because that's very clinical. So there are different subtypes of piebaldism as well.
Oh, okay.
And vitiligo also, it's a complex condition. It's actually a lot more complex than what
It's
we
just
see it to
we're
be.
just
And that's
leaving
why
it
it's
as a
difficult
broad
to treat.
spectrum of vitiligo.
No, so that's why it's very difficult to treat because it is complicated. It's actually very, very complicated. And that's why we can't just say, okay, use this cream. it's
Yeah.
gonna take it away.
Because I've even seen people transform like this in the space of 6 months. And whereas it's taken like 10 years or, however many for someone else. So it's just,
So it's
I
just-
was thinking it's even in the food now because I'm like,
Yeah.
No, please don't eat your food.
I
did ask that question.
You did, yeah.
Eating something in the food.
Guys, our time is up. Those who arrive very early, thank you. And those who arrive very,
Even
very
earlier.
see a card. Even earlier. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
Come
much
give
for
you a hug
coming.
there.
Thank you so much. Did you ask all your questions?
Oprah hug. They will have another session. We'll have
Was that
another.
an Oprah hug? Is that how?
No, we did it earlier.
Thank you for coming. Anyway, guys, if you have questions for Dr. Temi,
That's correct.
The
I
beta.
said it right.
Is that right, girl?
Koi them there by my page, which is Loud Wednesdays with Yolanda. Don't go to her page. Her page is for medical. Yeah, don't go there and
serious
ask.
things.
"Oh, I have this, I have that. No.
Yeah.
There you go if you wanna go consult and all of that. And her page is just Dr. Temi, right?
That's right.
Dr. Temi. Yes, you'll find her there. She's there on my page as well. Apparently, I'm there on her page as well. Scroll down, you'll see me. You'll know it's her.
Doctor
You
with the
know?
results.
I'm probably gonna post something there. You will see. She will be there because
Actually
we.
posted. I'll like, hey, look at you.
Just
You,
saying.
you know, now that's happening. So yeah, so you do go there if you wanna go consult and you wanna ask questions. If you wanna ask questions that we want us to answer here, call them on Loud Wednesdays with Yolanda. The DM there, I will jot everything down. Thank you. And thank you so much for watching. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Guys, we are on Spotify. So this episode is going to be first exclusive on Spotify on Monday. And then it's going to be on YouTube on Friday. So remember that when it's out, just know that if you want to watch it early, it will be on Spotify on Monday. And then it will be on YouTube on Wednesday. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. We have to do the whole thing together, all of us.
What's
Okay.
that?
What you gonna do about it?
Nothing.
So I'm gonna sing it for you guys. The only thing you guys do is nothing. And
We must do
everyone
nothing.
yeah, you
We
just
must do
you
nothing.
just
Let's do nothing.
Let's do nothing.
yeah.
We're
Like, we
gonna
must
do
do
nothing.
nothing.
We'll do
Like,
nothing.
We're looking at you.
We're gonna
Watch it.